Noryang Deadly Sea is the third and final film of Kim Han-min's General trilogy, starting with The Admiral Roaring Currents in 2014 and then Han-sun Rising Dragon in 2022. This movie is the last battle of Yi Sun Shi, the famous general with the brilliant strategist and participated in over 100 battles. However, this is a kind of different kind of movie. It has better pacing than Han-sun Rising Dragon, but we're mainly focusing on an older, wearier, some regrets. We're basically caught up. It's near the end of the Imjin War. Joseon, now modern-day Korea, has an alliance with the naval Ming dynasty, the Chinese, and they're going up against Japan. Japan has been sort of pushed to these different parts of the country, and they want to retreat because their emperor has died, their king has died, and we're essentially sort of seeing what's going to happen because some of the Japanese want to leave. They're not sure if they're communicating with each other, and the general has to basically decide what's going to happen. He already knows that there's going to be a large battle, but it's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of different factions in the Japanese that some want to leave, some want to stay. There's the Koreans and the Ming. And this movie doesn't follow the same sort of pacing as Han-sun Rising Dragon. That movie's basically like an hour and a half of setup and then an hour of big naval battle. And this one, half the movie's naval battle, basically. And the movie does manage to pull the heartstrings in certain scenes. They're going for a more spiritual, philosophical sort of touch with some dream sequences that are a little bit artsy, and at the end as well. The movie can be a little bit overly melodramatic at times near the end. Some cheesy moments where they just sort of drop actual naval strategy and just have a rousing speech to sort of boost morale for the men, and that's going to help them win the battle. A little bit cliched now and then, but overall strong character development for some of the smaller characters. And the villains this time aren't preening evil, just monsters. They're actually just like soldiers that want to go home too, but there's some great humanity on both sides. Terrific action. There's a really amazing one-shot action sequence which just follows a random soldier as they're fighting, and it's really frenetic and chaotic, and explosions, and you can get a knife to the back or a sword to the back at any time, and then whenever that character you're following dies, it switches to the next. It just keeps tracking the next person in the line. It's a really artistic, immersive set piece in the film that sort of shakes up some of the naval battles. And we get some callbacks to older films as well. Overall, it's a very searing, large, epic Korean naval warfare film. It can be the equivalent of Napoleon. We're following a brilliant strategist. Instead of a more personal journey, this movie is more of a reflective regret and how the war has sort of affected him emotionally and sort of taken stuff from him. We had a small sequence with his wife. So the movie's got strong acting, amazing production design, visual effects. It's very entertaining overall. If you haven't seen the first two, I would suggest watching those first. This one's still accessible though. You can watch it without the other two. It's a pretty entertaining film, and I give Noryang Deadly Sea a 7 out of 10.